I'm here today to talk about Binnit. It's an early stage pre-revenue company. We're based in the Innovation Centre at the University of Exeter. And, it's that wrong button, isn't it? We have a vision of a world where nothing is wasted. So I'm Philippa Roberts, I'm the co-founder and the CEO of this business. What's the problem? Well, the challenge that we're facing is this. Fiberite mentioned it a little bit before, but the waste industry is an industry that is focused on delivering a service based on its own needs, not on the needs of the customer. What this means, and the truck is symbolic of this, is that the industry uses 26-ton trucks that do 3 miles to the gallon to collect waste and recycling from European city centres that are congested, that have air pollution problems, and often medieval. It's a vehicle that's geared to the needs of the industry and not what the customer wants. It's a vehicle that's suited to picking up large volumes of waste that come consistently, and yet most of our businesses are SMEs and produce diverse streams of waste. So that means that most SMEs have a very poor service offering. And we lose lots of materials. The EU has a list of 20 raw materials that are absolutely critical to the functioning of the European economies. It's the stuff in our smartphones, in our computers, in our catalytic converters, and they're not available in raw form within the EU. So if those supply chains to Turkey, to Uzbekistan, to Russia, to Australia are disrupted, we can't access those materials. The only way to secure them is to get them from our existing products and packaging, which are in our waste streams. So we have a system that is inefficient and that is expensive. It's fragmented and it's lacking in transparency. And the two quotes that are up there from the Environmental Audit Committee inquiry into waste data, and to use a terrible pun, our waste data is rubbish. We don't know what people are throwing away, why, how, anything. So the proposition that Binnit has at the moment, we are developing a collective buying platform for SMEs to access waste and recycling services. We'll be collecting data on what an SME is actually producing in terms of waste and what it actually needs, and we're combining that with traffic and congestion data and local litter data so that the service we offer is tailored to a local area and the local area's needs. We want to offer a wider range of services to SMEs so that actually all the materials they want to recycle, they're able to recycle. And the way that we're going to do that is to support new entrants to the market. So whether that's a cargo bike that's currently doing a courier service, or actually the area where there's probably most potential are all those self-employed white van drivers doing Hermes deliveries. Every company that they're taking deliveries to, they could be taking that packaging back from. So our platform will provide the technology that will give both the traffic and congestion data to make these collections efficient, but will empower new entrants to a market that's been very, very close because of these high barriers to entry that Fiberite were talking about before. And we'll support these new entrants to make sure that they're legal and offering a legal and clean and safe service. And then we'll be collecting the data. So at the moment, if you get a waste contract, you have a year's contract. Your bin is picked up every week, regardless of the waste you produce. You increase your recycling, your waste bin is still picked up every week. And the service that we're going to offer will be fully responsive. If your waste changes, the contract will change, the collections will change. So we can save SMEs money and run the service better. Why trust us? Why trust the team? Well, I've been in the sector for nearly 20 years now. I was thinking about this before. It's about 14 years ago, I raised £1 million to start a social enterprise, which actually ran the first food waste collections to households in London. So I'm comfortable with innovation in the sector and know how it works. I'm a non-executive director on a waste and recycling company that operates across London and the South East, turns over about 14 million at the moment. Claire, my co-founder, has over 25 years in business development and marketing, working for companies like Avios, BSkyB, have great carbon performance, as Chris Hume said earlier. And we are supported by the Set Squared partnership from the university. We just got a small grant this week, so we'll have a student working with us this summer, and we're about to roll out our first pilot in Exeter. So that's through the Exeter City Futures programme, which is how we'll access the transport data. And it means that we're about to recruit the data analyst that we'll be using. Now, the potential here is huge, and what I'm asking for today are two things, really. We are early stage, but I'm building a board, and I'm building an advisory board at the moment. So I'm looking for people who want to support us to develop and grow this business, particularly in the area of raising finance. We'll be opening our first funding round, a minimum of 150,000, so SEIS and then EIS, in the autumn. And that's because the potential in this is huge. It's a global application. Anywhere where there's a business that has waste in a mature economy, we think we can make the service better, more efficient and higher quality for them through our platform. And for the 4 billion people around the world who have no formal collection service, there is the potential for us to start to match them with the people who want to buy those materials. The marginal cost of rollout is tiny because the cost is in the initial build, which is why we're fundraising this summer. And that doesn't even begin to explore the value in the data that we'll be collecting. So as I said at the beginning, the data is currently rubbish. We want to change that. If we understand the data, then we can properly engage with customers, change their behavior, and secure those critical materials. If you want to help us build this business, please do come and talk to me afterwards. Thank you.